Now that the Abraham Accords has celebrated its one-year anniversary, Israel's Knesset is moving to ensure the agreements can survive the test of time.
The establishment here at the Knesset of the Abraham Accords Caucus is the next step in solidifying the relationship between Israel and her Sunni Arab neighbors. Caucus co-chair Ruth Wasserman Lande says leaders across Israel's political spectrum are uniting behind the Accords.
And as you could see, you had people from former government, current government, the fact that this is a real national interest of the country and of the region. And I pray to God that this is just the beginning.
Bahrain's ambassador shared his country's support for expanding and protecting the Accords.
It can become the mechanism that enables us, despite the differences, to put our hands together and work towards one goal: a safer, more prosperous, and secure Middle East.
The event brought together many architects of the Accords, like Jared Kushner, who says the peace agreements have started a ripple effect.
It's spreading throughout the Middle East, it's spreading throughout the world. Muslims in Indonesia, Muslims in Saudi Arabia, Muslims in Malaysia, Muslims in Pakistan, they're seeing that Israel is not what they've been told it is, and they're seeing that Israelis are welcoming their Muslim brothers, and they're seeing that there's a lot that we could be doing together.
This Bahraini shares a unique perspective after working with Israelis.
This is my first visit, but it's not my first interaction with Israeli people. I'm a humanitarian, so I do a lot of work internationally, and luckily enough, I had the pleasure to meet a lot of Israelis around the world who are volunteering with me as well. And to me, they're great people.
U.S. representatives pledged support to advance the Accords.
The Biden administration now continues working to expand normalization efforts and to deepen Israel's existing relationships and to bring new countries into the fold.
Former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu credited the Trump administration for changing policy towards Israel and Arab leaders.
They understood now that the road to Washington passed not through Ramallah, but through Jerusalem, because that was the American policy. They said, if you want even better relations with the United States, then make peace with Israel. So the change in American policy was critical. I have to say that without it, you could bake the cake, but you can't finish it. You can't put the topping on it without this crucial change.
Netanyahu added, while Israel and these Sunni Arab nations face a common enemy, he's optimistic about the future.
I believe that if we continue to move in this direction, and if we don't fall into yesterday's traps and the failed policy of the past, our grandchildren will look back at this moment and say that the peace of Abraham brought the sons of Abraham together.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, the Knesset, Jerusalem.